it for the likes. Nefanya juu ya love, si fanyi juu ya likes. Me do it for the love, me not do it for the likes. Nefanya juu ya love, si fanyi juu ya likes.
I'm Nelson Munyiri. Those are like my official government names, but better known as Nelmo Newsong. I'm a recording performing artist, a creative curator, and also the founder and executive director to Mukuru Youth Initiative. Born and raised here in Mukuru, and basically in a family raised by a single mom. Growing up in this environment, music was one of the things you could see every day. Football was one of the things you could see every day. So started as a footballer, ended up as an artist, and the good thing is that in primary school I was introduced into music because I was part of the school choir. Went to the nationals twice in class 7 and class 8. So there was that basic understanding a little bit about music, and I was like, this is something I want to do moving forward. Yeah, so when I finished primary school, actually, I got a chance. Like, I had never been to a studio. And I think this opened up my mind and gave me a bigger purpose, because that time they were doing a jingle for Mukuru. It's called Mabatini Anthem. And when they were doing that, the popular artist, Mr. Lenny and Osman that time, were the main guys who are mentoring us into the studio and everything. And the first time I got to the studio was RK Mwanabuja, and he was like the key person. Every time, every music you listen to that, it was Mwanabuja. I got that chance, and me being in part of that jingle, it was challenging because my writing skills were really bad, and even singing, that's when I was starting. So I used to struggle a lot even during rehearsals. So one thing was that when we got to the studio, and then now that's when I finished primary school and got into high school. So I got to high school ready to be an artist. And the first thing I remember in Form 1, Term 1, they had a fundraiser for YCS. And I was like, I want to perform. And all the artists they had in the school used to have drums, so they could play drums when they're rapping. And for me, I talked to the keyboard guy. I was like, play me a beat, and everyone, no one knew my name, but the song was called Show Mercy, so everyone started calling me Show Mercy. So I recorded like 2 songs when I was in high school, and decided to pick music now professionally after I left high school, but not until 2016. That's when professionally I decided to do music professionally.
Make them no substance over hype. Hawa tupendi bata tuna response. Flyer huwa tupende from a distance. Tukikampu bring home solution. Wengi bado wako.
There is this saying, tunasemaga tunataka kutoka mtaa. Unaona? So that's that mindset. Every young person growing up, you're like, kutoka mtaa is like changing my life. So that's like one of the things that everyone growing here, they want to see their life change. And kutoka mtaa is like the saying, the philosophy. Nataka nitoke mtaa. So that's basically one of the things. And there's different ways to be able to do that. So you have to, the only challenge is that you're not exposed to as many options. So the education is the first thing that you're introduced to. So you try to be in the education as much right now. But when I was growing up, crime was a thing. You had the only way you will be popular, the only way you will be able to maybe be popular in the community and be rich was through crime. And it was really challenging because they're like, I can see so many young people dying because they're in crime, and then I'm like, is that really what I want to get into? The most important thing I believe as an artist, it's easier to make a change through a song, but it's also easier to make a change if you're popular enough to be able to change people's mindset and you have enough people to be able to convince exactly what you're doing. So I was like, let me pull a crowd towards my side, because then that's the only way I get to influence. So despite I'm doing music for social change, I believe my role as an artist is to be able to influence. in 2013, so we decided to do the Mukuru Awards. So Mukuru Awards was appreciate people making a change in the community, and I thought, it's a good thing because then I'll also create a stage for me to perform on. And funny thing, I never got to on that stage until 2018. I never performed on any of those events that we were organizing until 2018. So that's how we started Mukuru Awards 2013, 2014, and then when we were organizing it in 2015, we were like, should we continue just doing something, waiting for the end of the year to do something, and then we'd never do anything. So that's where now we decided to have Mukuru Youth Initiative operational in 2015. And we started in a small space, a few activities, having a few. So actually our main event was called Mtaa kwa Mtaa, touring around Mukuru every month. So just to have something that we do every month before we get to the main event, which now has turned from Mukuru Awards, just Mukuru Award, to Mukuru Festival. So Mukuru Festival is the biggest festival in Mukuru first, and it's a space where we get to come and not only get on stage to perform, but also be able to talk about issues affecting us in the community. When we started the festival in 2018, because before 2018 we were just doing the Mukuru Awards. So we were able even to draft a petition to have this field. This field, if it rained, you could not play on it. But now it rained last night, but still the field is in good state. So to rehabilitate that, the crime was also high, and also issues. We were also looking at issues to say about safety. We didn't have enough lighting around. So those are some of the issues that came. So in 2018 we did an 8-day festival in different areas, and even had a forum to talk about issues in the community. And we were collecting views from the people and drafted a petition where it's something that we even presented during the public participation. So we tried to fuse art and issues affecting the community and bringing the community together. Whatever we do here, it's not all art, but to a certain extent it's connected to art. But art is our main thing, because all our programs, we focus on art as the form to pass information and for young people to express themselves. So the hub is, we also say it's an incubation space for young people. So it's not just for artists, even young people who want to start something. They want to have their startups. So here we provide internet. So you can come here and browse the whole day. You can come here and use our space to have it as your physical location for your business. So that's basically also what we do. So apart from artists coming here to rehearse, we have the dancers coming here to rehearse. So every Friday we have the Artist Friday in the afternoon, where artists come. We host an artist every Friday to come perform, and also we do an interview which I upload online to just start their music career. Every Tuesday we have Coffee Bar Tuesdays, where we drink coffee and talk about issues in the community. Every Thursday we have everyone coming here for different board games, and some of them are even we play Monopoly, which is a very good financial learning game. So we try to have different ways to engage young people and even kids to a certain extent. So that's how we act. But also something that we're looking to and trying to structure it is also trying to have connectivity in the community. So we have internet not only here in the hub, but we're also connecting businesses and providing cheaper internet in the community around. So those are some of the things we're trying to do. So because access to information is also something that is very important to not only young people but everyone else in the community. So we're trying to have this space sustainable. So one thing we do is that it's not a free studio, because also we have to think about sustainability. Even the internet. The only place you get internet for free is in the hub. So everyone else out there who is connected to our network has to pay some subscription fee every month. So that's sustainable. So the studio for a full song, we're now charging 5,000 and 3,000 if you're coming with your own beat. but also we sometimes subsidize for artists that we're working in. Like every time we host an artist on Artist Friday, we give them a discount, sometimes even 50% discount to access the studio. So that's how we're working with artists. But also sometimes we organize, we look at artists who are doing very well, we record for them even sometimes for free, and to just like boost whatever they're doing. So that's the model we're trying to use for the studio. One of the biggest challenge in this community is that the generation that came before us never considered anything that recreational, and they don't see art as something that is important to them. So many of the facilities around, you'll find so many residential places, but you won't find recreational spaces for even young people. There is no social hall. There is no, even this football field, we had to fight for it and make sure that no one builds on it. So many schools don't have playing grounds and things like those. And the lack of all those social spaces is one of the things, because we are like, we need a space to have young people where they can sit. No one will ask them, come and ask them, unafanya nini? Unataka nini? Ukiingia kwa gate, you asked, unataka nini? Which is the norm with so many other spaces, and that keeps young people away. But if we are able to first provide a safe space for young people where they'll be and not feel anyone is profiling them, in a space where they'll come and express. It's very interesting, the conversation that we have during Confiba. People even like share their own personal experiences and even personal issues they're going through, because they feel I'm in a space where no one will end up judging me. You won't go out there and start hearing someone like sema ule alisema, you get. So it's trying to create that space. And me growing up and not having a space where I could be able to do those things was like, we need to do that. And also exposure. I've traveled, I've interacted with people. We've been to Dandora Hip Hop City. I've been to so many other spaces where I was like, why not have such in Mukuru? Being in this space has made me even more cautious. I'm very cautious. So every time I have to ask myself, who will listen to this song? And when I put it out there, anyone will access it. From small kids to my grandmother.
Ona mani wazi wazi, bado tunachapa kazi, mchanga kwenye amri, kunisusha tu dhamani.
We've been having conversation with my producer to do an album, but I don't just want to do an album for the sake of doing an album, but also do an album that is able to transform how people see my music. The biggest struggle has been getting music into mainstream spaces, so it's also trying to have that as an artist, because it's very important. And there's so many events that we're already planning, and hopefully either internally or internationally or nationally, I'm trying to create my brand as not just a brand that is known within Mukuru, but also having it on the national, and you never know, international.
Me do it for the love, me not do it for the likes. Nefanya do your love, see, fanya do your likes. Success.